Hi everyone, it's Becca here. I hope you're all having a great Wednesday so far. Now, super excited today that we're going to be joined by one of our Scratch Stars finalists. She is up for the Nail Business Mentor Award for 2024. It is Linda Hill, who is a recruitment expert via Linda Hill Recruitment, and she's going to be here today to share lots of her fantastic knowledge. And also, really excitingly, we will be doing a giveaway of her book, Beauty Therapist Entrepreneur, which is really exciting. It's a fantastic career guide. I won't say too much because she can share lots more with us, but stay tuned to the end. Yeah, let's add her in now and we can get chatting. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm really good, thank you. How are you?
Great, thank you.
It's lovely to have you on here.
Likewise, so thrilled to be with you today.
Oh, fantastic. And I mean, as I was just saying, great to have one of our Scratch Stars finalists on.
I know, you know what? I'm chuffed to bits to
Oh,
be part. It's so nice. You know, when you run a business and there's so much that goes on behind the scenes. So it's so nice to be recognized, you know. So yes, thank you. It's my honor and a pleasure to be part of it.
that is so lovely. I mean, you were featured in, I think it was our February and our March issues. And as soon as you sent us stuff, we were like, wow, she needs to get this award.
Oh, that's good to hear. That's good to
So why don't you kick off today a little bit with a little bit about your career so far and how you came to launch Linda Hill Recruitment?
You know what? There's a bit of a backstory
Wow.
to this. Uh, so I'll start at the beginning. So during the last year of high school, I had no idea what I wanted to study, and I was always quite envious. You know, some people just know off the bat
Yeah.
exactly what they want to be, and I had no clue. So then I decided I was going to go to Swiss finishing school, and yeah, that was the plan. Off to Swiss finishing school, but being in South Africa on a completely different exchange rate, this is a crazy idea, right? And my dad cleverly, instead of saying, no, this is a terrible idea, he said to me, have you considered going to the army? He said, it's very similar to Swiss finishing school. Now, in my opinion, there were no similarities, right? Right? But then came his trump card. He said to me, actually, scrap that idea. He said, they only choose 200 girls a year to go from the entire South Africa. So he said, you probably won't get in. So he said, actually, Swiss finishing school, they just take anybody. So that's probably your best bet. And of course, since he said that, you know, now you opt for the challenge. It's like a flag to a bull. You think, how do I get in to the yard? And then, short story long, I went to the South African Army Women's College. It was for a year. And then when I came out, I was still none the wiser. I still didn't know what to do. So I went to a career counselor, and the career counselor said, okay, two options for you, either an economist or a teacher. Now, I didn't I fancy studying BEcon. And so I thought, okay, well, it's a teacher, it's teaching then, right? So I then went off to university, and on the first day, I couldn't find my class. So I wanted to do teaching, but with phys ed after the whole army thing. So I
Yeah.
thought it would be a good option, right? So on the first day, I couldn't find my class. So I stopped a lecturer and I said to him, could you point me in the direction of the phys ed students? And he said, no, we've discontinued the course. I said, joking. I said, why? He said, no, we didn't have enough applicants. I said, what am I going to study now?
Yeah.
He says to me, I don't know. I said, what do you teach? He said, art. I said, how long is the course? He said, it's a 4-year degree. I said, can I join?
Wow.
So anyway, I ended up doing a 4-year teaching degree with the art major. So getting in the, and I'll tell you how it ties in with getting into beauty and doing the recruitment. But then I was teaching in South Africa, and when I came over to London, I was teaching as well. But then the day a young child tried to stab me, I thought, this is it. I need to get out of this. I need to listen to dolphin music. And in those days, in all the salons, they were still playing the whale music and the dolphin music, right? So all super chilled and relaxed. So I thought, that's what I need to do. So then I took myself off to do to Steiner to do a SIPTAC and Sedesco course. And once I finished with that, I then started working in hotels, in spas, and salons. And I then got the opportunity to work in a big chain of health clubs. They were called a Sporter at the time. And I ended up being the acting general manager for the club. And to make extra money for the club, I would rent out the treatment rooms to healthcare practitioners, to holistic practitioners. And then one of the, he was a chiropractor. He said to me, Linda, I've got a clinic in Fulham. I want to do exactly what you're doing here, but for my Fulham clinic. So I've got a treatment room that's empty. Could you find me a beauty therapist? And I said, sure. And I did. And he said to me afterwards, I said, oh my gosh, I cannot thank you enough. And the therapist said to me, Linda, you've changed my life. You have absolutely changed my life. And I thought to myself, oh, wow. I've never ever had somebody say to me, you've changed my life. And I thought, I want to do more of this. And then I resigned and I literally went to IKEA, bought a desk and set up the recruitment business. And that was 20 years ago this year. And that's how I got into beauty recruitment.
Wow. I mean, I did not expect that.
Yeah. But you know, sometimes in life, when things flow, they meant to be. So we might not, you know, I didn't set up to run a business like that, but when it flows, it shows you are on the right path,
Yeah,
you know.
definitely. And I mean, just from that experience happening, I feel like it shows you were meant to do that. You're great at your job.
Exactly, right? Exactly.
Amazing. So, what do you offer? What services do you offer via Linda Hill Recruitment?
So we help beauty professionals to fast track their success in the industry. So we do it by three things. So we help them to find great jobs, but then we also offer courses. So for at the moment, for instance, we're running a management masterclass. So maybe somebody is a salon manager, but they've never had any proper training or they want to get into management. We teach them how. And then we also do career coaching or career mentoring, because often I find people are at a crossroads at their career, and especially in our industry, there's so many avenues to go into. And sometimes you want somebody who's an expert, really just to help you, to point you in the right direction, or to tell you what the options
Yeah.
are, you know. So that's what we do. And then for businesses, the same along those lines then. So we offer them fantastic staff, really talented people. We also have courses for businesses as well, how they can take their team from good to great, or if the team are not selling enough, how to supercharge their sales. And also we help with business mentoring as well.
Oh, that's fantastic. I mean, I do feel like very much needed in the industry. I mean, beauty professionals and businesses are doing a great job, but I think sometimes, you know, getting that to that next step or finding career success can actually be really tricky.
Yes, exactly. It can be super tricky, you know.
Definitely. And so I'll ask you a bit about your advice now, but of course, if anyone has any questions, do just drop them below. But thinking about, you know, beauty career success generally, sort of what are some of the mistakes maybe or issues you see regularly that you know are quite common in the industry?
I tell you the top mistake. You know, the first step when you're looking for a job, you apply online and then you send your CV out, right?
Yeah.
But hiring managers, that is not the first step for them. They don't dissect your CV as their first step. Their first step is going online and essentially stalking you online.
Yeah.
And I think more people need to be aware that they are being judged before they even have the opportunity to turn up for the interview.
Yeah.
So already been discounted without being given a chance. So I think for anybody out there that's looking at the moment, it's to really consider, what is my online presence like? And you know, there's a saying, it says, you are who Google says you are.
Mm.
So be mindful of, what is my online reputation? And is that the image I want to portray? Because that is certainly the image that hiring managers, they form an idea or opinion of you. And it might not be correct, but that is the assumption. So I think the first tip I would say is go online and look at your socials and decide, is this who I want to be?
Mm. That's fantastic. I mean, I do think everyone focuses so much on the application, don't they, that
Yes, yes,
button.
yes, completely forgotten, absolutely completely forgotten. And that's where most of us spend our time these days, right?
Yeah.
Yes, so definitely if you are job hunting, be mindful what you put out there.
Yeah, definitely. And I feel like, I mean, we talk about this quite a lot at Scratch, but maybe having a business account and that sort of thing to present you in the best way.
Yes, 100%. Maybe have it more business and then have a private account that, for your friends and family, and, keep that private.
Yeah, definitely. So, um, if someone's watching this and they're applying for jobs at the minute and they're struggling a little bit, what would your top tips be? What do you think they need to sort of consider when they're applying?
You know what I think? And I think we all guilty of this. I think everybody feels as though they should be further
Yeah,
ahead, you know. And I think sometimes I get people, they've just finished college and they go, oh, but I want to do this and I want to do that. And it shows that they are ambitious and motivated, which I admire. But I think sometimes we just got to take a breath and think, okay, just in the moment, be the best that you can. We're in such a rush to get from A to B. And if we take it back to businesses, we think they are overnight success, right? But what we don't see is the 5 to 10 years that it took them to, in our minds, they just popped up overnight. But it wasn't. It was 5, 10 years of hard graft. And I think for people out there as well, listening, it is, just celebrate where you are now. You are exactly where you're meant to be. And don't try, don't feel as though you should be further ahead. It's absolutely fine. Be in the moment, do the best you can, and then move on to the next step.
yeah, yeah, definitely. I mean, things will happen if they're meant to, won't they?
Yes, exactly. You've got to do everything you can, I say, and then go with the flow,
Yeah,
yeah. And you know how that saying, if you're banging on a door and it's not opening, it's not your door, type thing, right?
yeah, definitely, definitely. And I mean, sometimes people can, opportunities can spring out of nowhere and people never expected it. So,
Exactly, exactly. So yes, I think be open to opportunities, but also celebrate where you are right now
yeah,
and the best you can in the role that you have at the moment before you take the next step.
yeah, definitely. It's really good advice. And so, at the moment, it's a big topic, cost of living crisis, and obviously, businesses are struggling to onboard and that sort of thing. Um, so for those businesses, beauty business that are, worried about taking on staff and being profitable in today's climate, what would your key advice be to them?
I think the first question they've got to ask themselves is, how much money can this person generate for my business during the year?
Yeah,
Say, for instance, it's £100,000, right? That is a brilliant investment, right? Um, and then they would be silly not to employ a team member if they can generate 100K for them. And they're missing out on the opportunity by not employing them. Having said that, if they don't invest in their training and development, it's a terrible investment. So the first month of employing somebody new is absolutely crucial, and it will determine outcome further down the line. And by I mean, if they don't invest in that person's induction, or they don't offer opportunities for development and training, that person is going to leave.
Yeah.
It's not going to be a high performing environment for them because they feel that they're not learning enough, it's stale, or they can't learn anything more. Or because there was a lack of induction, it just sets a terrible tone. And I'll tell you a short story. When I worked as a therapist in a five-star hotel, right? The first day I arrived, I said, "Oh, hi, I'm Linda." And the reception person said to me, "What treatment are you having?" And I said, "Oh, no, no, I'm not a client. It's my first day." And she said, "Oh, nobody told me." And you know, immediately you don't feel welcome, right?
Yeah.
Immediately you know there's a lack of communication in the business. And then she said to me, actually, you must be, I can see there's a column open for somebody. You must be that person. You must be doing that column then. And I said, okay. She said, your first treatment starts in half an hour. It's a milk and honey treatment. And I said, I really don't know what that is even. And then she said, go and get your uniform. I said, where? She said, oh, go to housekeeping, go and pick up a uniform, come back and come and collect your client. You know, when all of a sudden there is so much stress on you, and the client is paying £100, and this was 25 years ago. So 25 years ago, £100 treatment, it was, you know, it was a lot of money to pay, especially for a therapist that has no idea what does she do with the milk and what do you do with the honey, right? So, and that that sets the tone. So from that moment onwards, I've realized that induction is absolutely crucial. So as a business owner, if you don't have the time yourself to invest in a new starter's induction, make sure you have somebody else in your that can take care of that. And to bring it back to your original question, if you don't have the time to invest in induction and training, then maybe it's not the right time. Then maybe you've got to get more processes and systems in place before you can go to that next step.
Definitely, definitely. I mean, wow, what did you do in the end about the treatment? I need to know.
I know, right? I remember going, they had this prep room. And I remember going into the prep room and there were other therapists there. I said, give me the 30-second overview of how to do a milk and honey treatment. And they said, well, you've got to heat up the milk. And you know, when you think, and they go, you've got to get the mitts and you've got to, you know, when you think, I've got to compose myself now, because as a therapist, we very much, there's so much that goes on behind the scenes. Clients have absolutely no idea. You know, it's a little bit like the Titanic. You know, when the orchestra is still, when the band's still playing, right? So in the industry, it's a lot like that. So I knew I had to keep my cool with the client and come across as super confident. So I couldn't let on that I didn't know what I was doing. And what I didn't realize as I was doing the treatment, I was removing the client's entire tan. So it was a really good exfoliating treatment. But I wish I said that before to the client, and you know, to warn and say, you know, you've got such a, you know, a beautiful tan. Just to let you know, I'm going to remove all of this with this treatment. Do you want to have something different, or should we continue? You know, but that of course comes with experience and being trained, right?
Yeah.
So yes, my eyes were almost just, as I'm doing the treatment, you know, the tan is just coming off, and I thought, oh my gosh, you know, she had this healthy holiday glow, and she's going to come out, you know, completely pale and interesting, you know. So, yes. So, rule number one: inductions. It's the tone.
I do feel like as well, like, you know, in the past, people used to sort of get a job and stick with that job, and that was their career, wasn't it? But now, you know, younger people are definitely more, they will change jobs so often that I think you have to really invest in people to keep them.
Yes, 100%. Because people, I say to clients the following: I say, your advertisements would say, I want somebody with X, Y, and Z experience, right? But why should somebody take your job if they can already do exactly those treatments? Unless you're offering an obscene amount of money, there's no reason for somebody to jump ship. because there's no room for growth and development.
Mm.
And as business owners, we have to bear that in mind. We have to constantly offer opportunities for career growth and development. Otherwise, people will leave. It's not a mystery. People will leave.
Yeah, that is very, very true. And so the recruitment process, both, you know, for professionals and for businesses, it can be quite stressful, can't it? So what are
Yes.
your top tips for making it less stressful, making it a really positive experience?
Well, my top tip is to come to an agency, of course, right? If you want zero stress, then you say, "Hey, Linda, I'm looking for a new opportunity. Can you help me?" Or the client, "We're looking for some incredible talent. Can you help us?" But if you're doing the DIY option and you're doing it yourself, I would say to people looking for jobs right now, don't just throw your CV out or put your CV out there to anybody. Really research the type of company, because ultimately you want to be happy in your role, right? So you need to choose a company that you feel you align with, who they are, with their values, what they offer, somewhere where you'll feel proud to work.
Mm.
So do your research before you send your CV out. Make sure you are a potential match for them before you get to the interview stage. Otherwise, you're wasting your time. So that would be my top tip.
Definitely. And like you were saying about recruitment company like your own, I think it's important to, you know, go to one that's a specialist in your area as well, like you're specialised in beauty.
Yes, exactly. And I say to business owners, just see it as I'm an extension of your team,
Mm.
because ultimately for me, I want somebody to have longevity with your company and somebody that can help your business grow. But equally, it's got to be a good value match, because if their values are not aligned and it's a mismatch, people aren't happy, people don't stay. So, yeah, and I say to clients, like we said before, keep an open mind in terms of think, what can you offer as a company? Because when they write job ads, when I find clients write job ads themselves and they put it online, they write, "I want, I want, I want." And with that, I mean, they say, "I want somebody with X amount of experience. I want somebody that can do this. I want somebody that can do that." But people reading it, they don't see it like that. For them, there's an acronym called WIFM. What's in it for me, right?
Mm.
So you need to turn it around and say, I can offer you this, and I can offer you that, and I can offer you this. And so my top tip for them, if they're doing DIY recruitment, is switch your job ad from "I want" to "I offer."
Mm. That's fantastic. Just that change of wording,
Yeah.
completely.
Yes.
Yeah, amazing. And so, um, of course, we've got to talk about your fantastic book today, that you're doing a giveaway of. So, tell us a little bit about Beauty Therapist Entrepreneur, why you were inspired to write it, and sort of the lessons it covers.
Yes. So I'll show it. Here's the book. I don't know if you
Wow.
am I fuzzy on your side or not?
No, you look great.
Okay, good. 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 Okay, beauty therapist entrepreneur. So I was helping people accelerate their career success, but I was helping one person at a time. So I really wanted to write the book so I was able to help more people. And as the title say, beauty therapist to entrepreneur, it's really a whole journey, taking somebody from their first job, and it will tell you exactly how to get your first job when you have no experience, all the way to how do I set up a business? And then all the bits in between. How do I get into management? How am I better at sales? What are the opportunities available in the industry? And in the final chapter, I've interviewed lots of entrepreneurs in the beauty industry that had great success. And I say to them, what are your top tips? Please share it with us. So this book is really, as it says on the title, Beauty Therapist to Entrepreneur and everything in between. So it's a step-by-step guide on how to be more successful, stand out in the industry and make more money. So definitely a must read, and it's available on Amazon. It was an Amazon bestseller when it came out. So for those out there that are in the industry and you haven't read it, it will really supercharge your success.
Definitely. And is it sort of accessible to all? Is it for sort of people at all levels
Yeah.
in the industry?
Yes, 100%. Whether you're just starting out and you have no experience, there's a chapter just dedicated to those people. I'm starting out, I've got no experience. How do I get my first job? To how do I write this? How do I write a CV? I tell you, there questions people ask during interviews, the top questions that get asked over and over and over again in my experience over the past 20 years. I put them in there and the answers, right? And the answers to give. So I really want to help as many people as possible. And also for those that have been in the industry for a while, I tell you exactly how to set up a business step by step. For other people kind of in between, they don't want their own business, but they want to, go up the career ladder. I tell them what they can do what they can do to get to the next step. So literally every step of the way if you are in the beauty industry.
That's fantastic. It sounds great. And just to have that as your little guide next to you to keep you going throughout your whole career.
Yes, exactly. And this is really 20 years worth of, from me seeing it from, because I've got this vantage point, right? From being in the industry for such a long time, I see it from therapist side, their frustrations and their problems from working in salons and clinics and spas. And then also from the business owner side, what they want to improve and their struggles and their successes, so it's all condensed into the book Beauty Therapist to Entrepreneur.
Oh, that's fantastic. That
Yeah.
sounds great.
Yes.
And of course, we're doing a giveaway of that.
Yes, absolutely. And I'll make it a signed copy.
Oh, that's fantastic. Thank you, Linda. And so I can reveal that the person who will be getting that is infinity_nails_KW.
Oh,
So congratulations.
wonderful. Right. So if you send me their details,
Yeah,
I'll make sure it makes its way over to them. So great. Thank you.
fantastic. And we hope that they will share how they found the book with us.
Yes. that would be a bonus. Thank you.
Wow, they're really chuffed, so that's great. So thank you so much, Linda. It's been absolutely fantastic having you on here.
Oh, it's my absolute pleasure. It was great having a chat. So, and thank you to everybody for watching.
Oh, that's fantastic. And we hope to see you maybe at the Scratch Stars party.
Absolutely. I'll see you there.
Thank you so much.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.